Good morning, students. In the last lecture of the object-oriented programming, we learned the concept of array of objects and object as a function argument. In the array of object, we were seen that the array of variables of class data type is called array of objects. As store group of objects together, and an array of objects is an array of a class type is also known as array of objects. After that, we will discuss about the concept of object as a function argument. In C++, we can pass object as a function argument and also return an object from the function. These concepts we were learned in the last lecture. Now in this lecture we will start our next point as a constructor. Constructor is the concept or the feature of the object-oriented programming languages. In this point, we will learn about how the constructor is defined in a C++ program. What are the different rules for writing constructor functions? How to define a constructor inside a class, and how the constructor is defined the outside of the class. This we will see in this lecture. Now first we will see what is an exactly constructor is. The constructor is the new concept you will study in this C++ language. What is the definition for the constructor? Constructor is a special member function which is used to allocate memory space and values to the data members of that object. Constructor is nothing but constructor is one of the member function, and that function is mainly used to allocate the memory space and the values to the data members of that particular object. The constructor makes the object functional by converting an object with unused, means uninitialized memory into a usable initialized object. Means constructor allocates the memory for the object. Whenever an object is created, the constructor will execute automatically and initialization of the data member takes place. Means whenever any object is created in our program, then at that time the constructor will be executed automatically. The constructor will called automatically, and the initialization of the data members of that particular object is done at that time. It is called constructor because it constructs the value of data member of the class. The constructor is called as constructor. Why? Because it creates the value for the data member of that particular class. A constructor is a member function that is automatically called when an object is created. As I told earlier, the constructor is a one special member function. Why it is special? Because it has the same name as the class name. So it is a very special member function. And when it is called when the object of any class is created. At that time, the constructor function calls automatically for initializing the data members or for initializing values for the data member. Here, the constructor is a special member as it has the same name as that of a class, and it is automatically invoked whenever an object of a class is created. As I told, the constructor is a very special member function in object-oriented programming language because it has the same name as the class name. The constructor function having the same name as the class name defined, and it is automatically executed whenever any object of the class is created. This is a constructor. This is all about the constructor. In short, a constructor is a member function of a class which initializes objects of a class. In C++, constructor is automatically called when object means instance of any class is created, and it is special member function of a class. Why? Because it has the same name as the class name and it is automatically invoked whenever the object of a class is created. When we declare an object in a main function, then at that time the memory will be allocated. Constructors will be called by the compiler automatically, and initialization of variables means data members takes place. Means whenever we define, whenever we create the object of a class in a main, then at that time first the memory is allocated for that object. Next, the constructor will be called automatically by the compiler, and next the initialization of the data members taking place. Means values will be assigned to the data members. There are some rules for defining the constructor functions. There are certain rules for writing a constructor functions. A constructor name must be same as the class name in which it is declared. The constructor name, the constructor function name must be same as the defined class name. Means, for example, if any class having the name as student, then the constructor function must have the student name. It does not have any return value. The constructor function does not have any return value. It is generally declared as a public member function. The constructor functions are generally declared as a public member function. It can have default argument. There is a type of constructor that is default constructor. Means we can set default values, default argument to the constructor function. That we will see in the next lecture in the types of constructor. Next, it cannot be declared constant, variable, static or virtual. The constructors cannot be declared as a constant, variable, static or virtual. Constructor cannot be referenced by its address. It is automatically called by the compiler. It cannot be inherited like other member functions. Constructors cannot be inherited. The implicit calls are given to the operators new and delete whenever memory allocation is required. The new and delete operators for the memory allocation is called by the constructor whenever it is required. Next, it is automatically called when an object is created. Constructor will call automatically whenever an object of a class is created. It specifies how an object is created. The constructor specifies how the particular object of a class is created. These are the rules, or these are also referred as a characteristics of the constructor. Next, we will see how to define a constructor in a class. There are two ways for defining the constructor. First way is the define the constructor inside the class. First, we will see the syntax for defining a constructor inside the class. There is a syntax. First, class is there. Then next, in the class, in public section, there is a constructor. As I told earlier, that the constructor having the same name as the class name. For example, here is a class student, then constructor name is also student. Student and the argument list means parameters are there, and the constructor body is here. And parameter is optional. There are different types of constructors that we will learn in the next lecture. This is the syntax for defining the constructor inside the class. In the class, in the public section, you want to define a constructor. The constructor having the same name as the class name, and it may contain the parameters, and here is the function body. Here is the constructor body. It is one type of function, but it is a very special because it having the same name as the class name. Next, we will see the syntax to define the constructor outside the class. Here is a class. Then in the public section, here only the constructor declaration means constructor prototype is here, and the definition of constructor is defined outside of the function, outside of the class. Here in the public section, the constructor is defined, constructor prototype is here, and while completing the class outside the class, there is an definition for the constructor is present. How to define, how to access that constructor outside the class? That is, first you want to specify the class name. After the class name, you want to specify the scope resolution operator. By using the scope resolution operator, we can call the constructor outside of the class. And then next, in curly braces, you want to write the body for the constructor, means execution of the constructor. These are the ways to define the constructor to inside the class and outside the class. Let's see one example for the constructor. Here is an example for the constructor. Here class is as time. Time is the class. Then in that time there are two data members, integer hour and integer minute. Then in the public section, the constructor is declared. Constructor is declared here time. It is a the constructor is defined outside of the class. Here constructor definition is here. Time, here is a class name. After the class name you want to provide the scope resolution operator for accessing the function outside the class, for accessing the constructor outside the class. Here is the constructor definition, and here initialization for the data members is taking place. Means when a class is declared with the constructor as above, then object is created by the class will be initialized automatically. For example, how we create the object in the main function? By using class name, and we write here the name for the object. Here the object of the time class is created as t. Here object t is created and it is initializes data members hours, minute and second to 0. There is no need to write any statement to invoke the constructor function as we do with the normal function. Means here whenever we create the object for the class, the variables or the data members are initialized automatically. Let's see one program for the constructor. In this program, see this program. First see this program. In this program, class is as line. Line is the one class. In that class, in the public section, there are two member functions, set length and get length. Set length takes the length parameter and get length returns a value for the length. And next here is one constructor. Constructor having the same name as the class name. Here line is as constructor. Then there is another member variable is declared as a length. Then the member function definitions and constructors are written. Constructor definition is written here. First, the constructor definition is written here. How to call the constructor outside of the class? First, we want to write the name of the class. Then, after the name of the class, there is a scope resolution operator. After the scope resolution operator, there is a constructor name, and in this curly braces there is a body for the constructor. Here when we call the constructor, the message will display object is being created. Then next, there is two member functions in the class. First one is the set length. This set length function is called outside. How to call? Return type, class name, scope resolution operator and member function name. If it is having parameters, then specify the different parameters. Then here the length variable initialization is done. Here actual argument, actual parameter takes the value of formal parameter or formal argument. Then next, another one function is defined in the class, that is get length. Here get length function returns the value for the length. Here get length function is defined. How? Return type, after that class name, then scope resolution operator. After scope resolution operator, you want to specify the function name. Whenever we want to call the class member function outside the class, the same syntax is used. This function get length function returns the length, so it returns the length. Then in the main function, here the object of a class is created. Line, here L is small, line is created. Then directly call the setLength function by using the object. By using dot operator, we can access the function to the object. Here is an object name dot, the function is called. Here length is 6. Then next length will be displayed. Length of line is the getLength function will call. GetLength function returns the value for the length. So whenever you compile and execute this program, you will get the output as first the object will be created, because here we call the first constructor. Whenever the object of a class is created, the constructor is automatically called. So it displays the message as object is being created. Then next, the getSetLength and getLength function called. So length of line is 6 will display. This is the execution of this program. See once again the program. In this program, whenever the line object gets created, at that time the constructor will call automatically. So first it displays the message as object is being created, and after that the member functions are executed. Next one is the constructor call. Means here we will see how the defined constructor will be called. For calling a defined constructor, there are two ways. For calling the constructor, there are two ways. First one is the explicit call and second one is the implicit call. Let's see one by one. In explicit call method, name of the constructor with the values of variables in the bracket are coming in the picture to construct the values. Name of the constructor is explicitly mentioned in the program. So this method is known as explicit call of the constructor. For example, here is a class bank, there is an object B1, then B1 is equals to bank 12. This is an explicit call for the constructor. Means explicit call means while if the name of the constructor is used in the object declaration, then the call is known as explicit call to the constructor. And next one is the implicit call. Next way is the implicit calling to the constructor. It will not show the name of the constructor in the program. In the explicit call, we want to specify the name for the constructor, and after the name of the constructor we pass the values. But in this, values of the variables gets constructed at the time of object declaration. Means whenever we create the object in a main function of a class, whenever we create a object of a class, then at that time the values gets constructed to the defined variable. For example, see this program. In this program, display is an one class. In that display class, there are two variables, member variables, data members as A and B, which is of integer type. Then in the public section, the constructor will call display because it having the same name as the class name. The constructor is called, and in the constructor, the values are assigned to the A and B variables. A having a value 1 and B having a value 2, and the values are gets displayed. by using output statement as cout. Here constructor is declared and defined. Then in the main function there is an constructor calling is shown. There is an first display disp, means here display and objects gets created of the class. So it is an implicit call, because in the implicit call it does not show the name of the constructor in the program. The values of the variables gets constructed at the time of object declaration. Here we declare the object, so values are automatically constructed in the implicit call to the constructor. Then here again the another object is created of the class display disp1. Here another one object is created and it gets assigned by specifying the name for the constructor. By specifying the name of the constructor, display is our constructor and displays constructor's values are assigned to the created object. So it is explicit call, because in the explicit call method the name of the constructor with the values of variables in the bracket are coming into the picture to construct a values. Here name of constructor is explicitly mentioned in the program. So this method is known as explicit call of the constructor. Whenever you compile and execute this program, you will get the output as value of A and B are 1 and 2. First, it will display the values by using the implicit call. It displays the values of constructor by using implicit call, and second will display the values by explicit calling. Both gets displays 1 and 2 values, because A having a 1 value and B having a 2 value. Remember that whenever the object of a class gets created, the compiler automatically call the constructor. The constructor is called constructor because it creates the values for the data members of the defined class, defined object. This is an constructor. Okay, thank you.